Hey guys, TikTok Sully here, or just Sully, and today I wanted to bring you guys a video breaking down Maison Margiela's reference system. Now I'm sure we've all seen it before because it's pretty much the brand's logo at this point, and it's just a range of numbers between 0 and 23, and each number represents a different part of the brand. Every number isn't actually active, for example number 2, but let's get into the ones that are. Starting with 0. 0 is the brand's artisanal line as well as its couture line, which are both created by hand. One of Margiela's design traits was his idea of recycling old garments and pieces and reimagining them into new garments and pieces. The reason for this was because he didn't like the fact that things were just worn and thrown away to just collect dust. So through his artisanal line, he gives these old pieces a new life. Some good examples of this range from the brand's porcelain plate vest, which was one of the first artisanal pieces for the brand, to John Galliano reusing toy cars as trimmings for a woman's couture dress back in 2015. Men also have artisanal pieces, and these are represented by the number 0 and the number 10 circled, and some examples of the men's artisanal pieces range from the famous leather belt jacket, which was reproduced for the H&M collaboration, to the ski glove jacket, which is one of the brand's more notable artisanal pieces. Line 1 is the women's mainline collection, so all the ready to wear pieces for women's mainline that you'll find in stores and boutiques will have the number 1 circled, and this is where the brand can really express their approach to women's wear and create their unusual and avant-garde pieces for women. Line 3 is the brand's original fragrance line, which is pretty self-explanatory. Line 4 is known as the wardrobe for women, and this is just a fashionable way of saying women's basics, and this exists so the brand can create essential pieces for women, which is what basics are. Line 6 is another women's line, but this time its purpose is to create less conceptual pieces and to create pieces that are more wearable on the day-to-day. Since its inception, it's been rebranded to MM6, so this is an official diffusion line for Margiela, specifically for women. Line 8 is the brand's eyewear line, where you find Margiela's avant-garde take on eyewear, and line 10 is the collection for men. This is the line that will appeal more so to the male market, including myself, and the majority of products we buy from Margiela will have the number 10 circled, so anything ready to wear for men will fall under this line. I actually have a few Margiela pieces, so I can show you an example of this, and the first piece I can show you is this plain white t-shirt from the Margiela brand, and as you can see on the tag, it has the number 10 circled because this is a men's t-shirt, and I'll just give you a close-up of the tag so you can see that better. And then after that, I also have a pair of black denim from the brand, and again this is a pair of men's black jeans, and you can see on the tag again it has the number 10 circled, and that's because both of these pieces fall under the men's ready to wear. Line number 11 is Margiela's accessory line, so anything that can be considered an accessory will have number 11 circled. Stuff like belts, wallets and bags, and even some jewelry, but the majority of jewelry falls under line 12, which represents their fine jewelry line. This is where you'll find Margiela's take on jewelry, which often has the brand's signature deconstructed take but applied to metals and stones as opposed to fabrics. 13 is for objects and publications, because Margiela also likes to work with the creation of objects, and this line is often referred to as white objects because the majority of objects that Margiela produces are often rendered in white, which is a signature color for the house. The majority of items that are produced under this line are intended to be for homeware. Some examples of this would be things such as a DVD, a lamp, candle holders, and even an embroidered clock. Line 14 is a wardrobe for men, which is just men's essentials, and it's just the male's version of line 4, which was essentials for women. And the final line is line 22, which encompasses the majority of the brand's footwear. Margiela takes deep pride in the construction of their footwear, so they have an entire line dedicated to this so they can create the best footwear possible, and this is for both men and women. An honorary mention of Margiela's is their Replica line, which I'm sure you would have seen written on the brand's products before. The Replica line is basically a capsule collection line that concentrates on reproducing original pieces and keeping them as close to the original as possible. So anything you see with the Replica branding means that it was produced in the past, and Margiela basically feels that it was so timeless that they were willing to reproduce it as close to the original as possible because it's timeless. The best example of this is the brand's famous Cat sneaker, which was originally a low-top army sneaker, but the brand has done so well in reproducing it that people think it's an original concept from the brand. Replica pieces will also have a second label which explains the piece's origin and where it was sourced from. The Replica line is also very prominent in the brand's fragrance range, as Margiela attempts to recreate fragrances of a specific mood or time, which is a very cool way to approach Replica in my opinion. One of their most famous Replica fragrances is known as Jazz Club, which derives from a Brooklyn bar in 2013 and is intended to remind you of what it says on the bottle, which in this case is a jazz club. And then finally there's the Stereotype label, which you'll find on a range of pieces. This just explains that the garment fits into the stereotypical idea of clothing, and it's nothing too experimental. So for example, those Margiela jeans that I showed you earlier have the Stereotype label printed on the inside of them, and that's because these are just a regular slim fitting jean as opposed to something that's different like a patchwork denim or even a pair of jeans that has irregular proportions. Another example of this would be the t-shirts that you see with this patch on it, and that's just indicating that it's just a standard fitting t-shirt and there's nothing special or different about it. It's literally defining stereotypical clothing, and I guess it's Margiela's attempt at being ironic. But that's all the lines covered. I was always intrigued by this, so I took a deeper look into it, and of course it's only natural for me to share the information with you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button as it always helps, and if you're interested in fashion, then make sure you also hit that subscribe button down over there. Also follow me on my Instagram, which is TikTok Sully, and I'll leave a link to that down below in the description. But that's all from me today. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.